Soldiers have been the most powerful force in African politics since independence, ushering in their champions, Nimeri, Doo, Bokassa, Mobutu, Amin. Ghana, 31st December 1981.
Today, we initiated a holy war.
Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings stages his second coup.
To this end, the following measures are hereby taken. 1. The 1979 Third Republican Constitution of Ghana is suspended. 2. For the avoidance of any doubts, the following are emphasized. A. The President, the Vice President, and all ministers and their deputies are dismissed from office. B. Parliament is dissolved. C. The Council of State is abolished. D. All political parties are proscribed. It is therefore illegal for any person or persons to belong to or operate under any party.
The record of coups across Africa reads almost like the directory of the Organization of African Unity. Over 70 coups in a quarter of a century. Only Africa south of the equator seems less afflicted. The first African coup was in Egypt in 1952. One of the architects of that takeover, Anwar Sadat, is buried here in Cairo, near the spot where, as president, he was killed by his own soldiers. The 1983 election was the biggest in Africa's history. President Shehu Shagari was seeking re-election under the banner of the NPN, competing against 5 other candidates. It was supposed to be an American-style election, with candidates required to show support across religious and ethnic lines. President Shagari, a northern Muslim, attempted to present himself as a national rather than regional figure.
Because I know you love me, I know you love the NPN. All Nigerians are equal, and all Nigerians must be given equal opportunity, irrespective of their tribe, irrespective of their culture, irrespective of where they come from. Today, we are witnessing the transition from one civilian administration to another. This is a very significant landmark in our democratic experiment.
The one political party nobody voted for was the military. They overthrew Shagari within months. General Muhammad Buhari arrived to rid the country of indiscipline, a claim soldiers usually make when seizing power. But during his short reign, Nigeria moved closer to tyranny than ever before. Close behind was General Ibrahim Babangida. In August 1985, he assumed supreme power himself. Being at the top is a high-risk job. Nigeria has had 9 leaders since independence in 1960. 3 were killed, 2 are in prison, and 1 in exile. In general, under the soldiers, Nigeria tilts towards dictatorship. Under the politicians, Nigeria leans towards anarchy. Boredom in the barracks encourages coups. The Nigerian Staff College has been involved in hatching some of them.
Timing is important. And you've got to, if you're going to succeed in any sort of complicated plan of war, as we're about to discuss, You've got to have a sense of timing.
The barracks and the military college have replaced the colonial prison as the university for future leaders. The colonial jail produced men like Nkrumah of Ghana and Kaunda of Zambia. Today, the faces of future presidents are more likely to be found among military officers at an African staff college.
This lecture today is really particularly for officers of your own type and of your own caliber who are going to be faced with decisions on defense policies, decisions relating to the national policy, and therefore you need to be clearly aware of our geopolitical setting.
Okay, we've all listened to the problem. Now, what is the answer?
Lieutenant Colonel Moses Effiong was an instructor at the Staff College. Since we filmed him, he has been jailed for life for attempting a coup. Lieutenant Colonel Mike Iyoshi was another instructor.
From where I'm staying. Mohammed, is that correct?
The Nigerian army attracts some of the best brains in the land.
If you follow whether it runs from right to left or left to right, really doesn't matter. You can see the ridge, right?
Yes, sir.
But exactly whereabout is the farm?
The farmland.
Iyoshi was seen as one of Nigeria's most brilliant up-and-coming officers.
Just about,
Yes,
Mohammed is just about right.
In December 1995, he also was arrested and accused of being one of the coup leaders. The charge against him included treason, a capital offense.
I used to hear this phrase, they hit them up for 6.
Hit them in for 6.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's Montgomery's favorite phrase. I didn't get to know what the hell it was until I went to Cambodia.
And what is it?
I saw it. It's North African campaign. It's the famous cricket.
The cricket.
Yeah.
When you take it,
hit the
you hit a man right out of the ground. You hit
Yes,
the 6.
I saw the phrase. I said, gosh, so that is what it's all about.
In March 1986, Iyoshi was executed. Two major questions arose at the time the soldiers started taking over power. Firstly, will the military transform the nature of African politics? And the answer has been yes. African politics haven't been the same since. Secondly, will the military transform the nature of African economies? And the answer has been no. Soldiers, as soldiers, have made very little difference. And so you may think this is an ominous symbol of the marriage between the military and politics in Africa. But remember, at least as ominous is the divorce between the military and the economy, between defense and development.